All right, what you just seen me throw the corn in is a little Moultrie automatic feeder. I put 50 pounds of corn in. I just want to show you how easy it is to set this thing. Okay, so you hit the set button. You make sure your time is right. And it's 11 a.m. And then it says feed remaining. We just threw a 50-pound bag in. So we set that, 50 pounds. Now it has 6 different timers. You can program it to go off 6 different times during the day. We'll have it go off at noon. Then you hit set, and basically you're setting it for how many seconds it's going to spin this thing to throw corn. I'm just going to throw it, and that set it, and then it tells you how many days that 50 pounds will last with what you have it set for. And with 50 pounds, throwing corn once a day for 5 seconds, it'll last 40 days. And that's pretty darn accurate. The only time it's off is if corn gets, all the corn doesn't cipher down. Look, you can see the marks. And you see this fancy repair job. The bears and the legs. I used to fill this thing all the way up, but the bears come and they flip this thing over, roll it over, chew on it, scratch on it, and they get all the corn out. And one time I put over 100 pounds of corn in this thing, and it was completely gone the next morning. So now I just put 50 pounds in, and like I said, it's set. It'll go it'll last the 40 days, but if you cycle through, I'll show you that. So the first one's at noon. The second one, it has times, but you just got to make sure, if you don't want it going off, that you got it set to 0 seconds. So you go through and make sure all 6 are, or 5 of the 6 are set to 0 seconds. And this thing, if I most likely won't be hunting in this spot, but at least this year anyhow. But if you do hunt over here and you have one of these feeders, it's almost like cheating, because you can't shoot does in this area of Michigan just because the population's a little low. But this thing will go off and the deer just come charging in. They hear it because it's kind of loud when it goes off. You hear the ting 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 of the corn hitting these metal legs. And the deer literally come running in when they hear it go off. But basically there, I put the cover on it. I got this little solar panel hooked on, and that thing works fantastic. We put the little battery in, and it's a 6-volt battery or whatnot, and I hooked this solar panel to it, and I did that last year. Thing went all winter, all summer, and the battery's still 100% fully charged. But yeah, I figured it's getting that time of the year. I'd throw this out, and even though I'm not necessarily going to be hunting here, I like to have a few spots just to kind of keep the deer on the property, because if they're hiding in here, they're not getting shot by the neighbors. So I'm greedy that way. But there, I just figured I'd show you the Moultrie feeder. And then one other little trick I like to do, and I'll show you that real quick. All right, throw a little rye underneath here, because the deer pretty much, the stuff the dog don't get, the deer pretty much like to eat the fresh little sprouts, because they will clear where this corn is. They'll eat everything bare here, and if you don't throw rye, it turns into a mud patch. But if you throw some rye in here, you get some nice green little sprouts, and you get to watch the deer eat them alongside the corn. All right, here's one stand done. The brand of this stand is X stand. They're pretty good, durable stand. It goes onto the tree pretty easy here. You got, let's see, a ratchet strap that holds these two support arms. And then you see this cable. The cable is kind of at a funky angle because for the ladder, I left one section out because I don't need to be up so tall in this spot. So I left one section out. But basically, the cables you see here, you get them on and them go down to the bottom, and there's a ratchet strap there. And the ratchet strap pulls those cables tight. And if you follow those cables up to the top, there's two arms with teeth on that are attached to them cables, and the tighter you pull the cable, the tighter it digs them teeth into the tree. And then on the regular part of the stand up there, there's some spots, and you ratchet strap the stand to the tree. So this thing's pretty darn sturdy. It ain't gonna go anywhere. But I'll show you the view from up in here. We'll crawl up in here. And this is just cheap camo burlap that I bought at Walmart. Came all the way from China, so it's got to be good. All right, let's get up in the stand here. It's actually a two-person. Some tree sap got on the chair. I do have a rope hanging from the side right here on the bottom, and that's how you pull the crossbow up, or the gun. All right, you sit in here. It's a nice comfortable chair. And let's see here. So you got the ratchet, you got another ratchet strap that hooks around the top up here that pulls, see if I can get that out of there, pulls that tooth section against the tree to hold her tight, and that kind of pivots right there. And again, I can about do a jig up in the stand and it doesn't go anywhere. Well, here's the view. All right, we'll start over here. Nothing spectacular. Oh, there's a wife down there. Are wives in season? All right. So basically this spot, there's a trail down there, and I got a food plot about 100 yards out from this spot, and a lot of times the bigger deer seem to either try to hide in here until it gets dark, or they do a big circle around that food plot, and this is a spot where you catch them. And the stand, it does have a nice little, let me see here, this thing that sits right by the ladder. There's a ladder where you crawl up, but it's got a nice little rest where you can rest your feet, so that's kind of handy. There, this one's ready for hunting season. All right, little areas where we disturb the soil. We like to take, and we got some maples at home, and we grab the, what are they called, samurais off, the little seeds, and we just like to throw them all over the ground. This area didn't have any maples growing in it. We couldn't find a single maple tree on this property. And now, because we've been doing it, we've got sprouts and maples growing up in places there never was before. So, and it only takes a second. So, the ones the dog doesn't eat, I mean, even if only 1 out of 50 grow, it's still better than none. But I just figured I'd share this because this is something we've actually had some pretty decent success with, because we never had any maples. What? What? See, you don't eat that. And now we got a bunch of them growing here. So, and it's super simple, only takes a couple minutes. so I figured I'd show it to you. Oh man, you okay, brother? Oh, son. What? Yeah? You didn't like that? You ain't gonna eat it, see? Now you're mad at him?